we're live, back at you. Episode 5 of In the Stables. I have myself, I have Greeny. Say hi, Greeny.
Hello.
And I have TC. Say hi, TC.
Hello there.
Hello there. We got some things to touch on. We've got the NXL Portugal Lisbon event that just happened. It just went down. Bit of a disappointing finish for us. I think we beat up ourselves a little bit there. We've got to touch on the upcoming AC Dallas? AC Dallas, is it Dallas?
Atlantic City.
Atlantic City, that's the one. Until I'm really clued up on my NXL event.
Locations.
It's over the States. Listen, it's the wrong side of the pond. That's the issue there.
Wrong side of the pond.
And just a couple other little maybe exciting things for our listeners and supporters that we can drop some little teasers on.
So should we start Portugal, given that happened recently?
Yeah. Let's open up a sore wound, shall we?
To be honest, Portugal was quite a tough event for us, I think, as a team. But I'm quite happy with how we built through the event. Firstly, it was really nice to have everyone back together, right? We had Marcelo over for the first time this year, and he's definitely part of the team now and part of the boys. He fits in really well. He's not just some sort of coach that flies over. I think we're all quite excited to actually see him as a friend. Some more than others, maybe. But then we had
you love to hold his pocket, so you would definitely buzz.
We had Coffee over from Dubai, so he sort of first time we've seen him this year, first time we've seen him since Christmas, I think. That was really great. And then we also had, we got to travel with Ains and Carver, which, when we're playing in the UK, Ains is normally running the site and Carver's, doing family man stuff. So it was just nice to have the whole gang back together, to be honest.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah. It's been, I think last time all together was what?
Even as an all-together thing, it'd be Drew last year, really. An all-together vibe.
In about 6 months. It's crazy.
And the rest, mate.
Yeah.
But no, it was good overall. It was really great to see everyone. Always some new memories to be made, some new laughs, some new jokes.
Any particular memories, Spencer, that you made?
Oh, I've got a couple.
Go on.
Anything you want to share too?
Portugal training on the Wednesday.
Oh, I know where this is going already.
Would you like to tell your first person?
Oh, my first person reenactment of what went down.
Yeah, especially what happened to Laurent.
Oh man,
I don't know if I'm allowed to say that here. It might just tarnish his reputation a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fine to touch on. If we give some brief details about the wording and phrasing of things, I think we'll be okay. But the Laurent had, for those of you guys who don't know, Laurent helps run and does he play on Breakout's second team? Does he play on Outbreak?
He used to play on Outbreak, yeah.
I know he runs. He's closely affiliated with those guys. A bloody amazing guy. Really down to
part of the Breakout family,
yeah.
He's always there.
He had a big horn that he was using to start games and sort of kind of officiate these games running all day. To which Mason decided he would like to borrow said horn. And
the children on this team,
giving Mason a horn was a great idea until he decided to blast it in Marcelo's eardrum point blank. So anyone from Impact, if you're listening and you want to know why Marcelo can't hear you properly on the field, we take no responsibility for Mason's actions.
Mason just wants a spot. That's what he wants.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Take down the competition one by one.
I think the phrase is meant to be if you can't beat them, join them, but he seems to be trying to just beat them.
Yeah.
So that went down, and as you can imagine, getting an air horn blasted in your ear point blank, I would imagine some people have certain reactions to said.
Well, we know there were certain reactions.
Yeah, listen, if you want to really get on Marcelo's bad side, I would suggest blasting a horn in his ear.
It sounds like Mason didn't start the event after that. Funnily enough.
Yeah, I'll put some respect on Mason, man.
Obviously Mason started.
Mate, I think Mason might have played majority of the points all weekend.
Yeah, Mason played really good. Mason always plays good.
Guy.
He's solid.
Yeah, he's a standout guy.
Apart from the Marcelo incident, the practice was good anyway. We played. Was it coming at you? We had.
I don't think we actually played coming at you.
I don't think we played coming at you because they were in our group, weren't they?
Yeah, but it was Blake's semi-pro team. There was a couple of semi-pro
Breakout, Scout. We played the team that Blake Yarber's guesting on. Is it
Ballen, right?
Ballen or whatever?
I've never had to say that.
I think it's Ballen.
Yeah, it's Ballen.
Ballen?
Yeah, maybe Ballen.
It's Ballen.
German semi-pro team. They've been around for a few years. So we
played against those guys. It was quite cool to see. It was quite cool to see Blake again. Really, Blake's a lovely guy.
Blake's funny.
He's always down for having a good little laugh. So that was quite nice.
Hello, Ginger.
Yeah, one of us, mate.
Funnily enough, he owns a Sun Queen brand. You know,
we got a little ginger sandwich going on right now.
Yeah, TC in the middle.
No,
definitely white bread.
That's one of them. TC in the middle. That's like one of them deep filled sandwiches. Do you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of mass there.
I was going to say something, but no, it's just I'm the one.
Coming at you with it was quite a good. We had an afternoon session. Just got the
FSU were there. Fucking sorry.
Oh yeah.
But like French FSU.
Yes, yeah, the French version of FSU.
The one that plays in Europe. So they've got Marquis and Marquis France.
Marquis France playing. He's done his ankle, so he's playing in a
broke his ankle or something. He's out there playing in a boot.
Yeah, you do it the weekend before. You must have jumped over a snake.
Yeah, it was in the French league apparently.
Yeah.
So, never happens at CPPS. Just saying that.
Been there, done that. Breaking yourself into the build up to a tournament's never fun. So
no, it's really not.
But
hopefully he's better for
the moon boot.
Yeah, they were trying to get him not to play so he could save himself for the AC event.
Yeah,
but he still played, still shot people on the break.
Yeah, pretty fun field. Also, on that back centre, you didn't even really need your feet; you could just kneel down.
But Ulrich Olsen was there on his double knees, every single point, just like. I'm like, how are these guys? Bro, if I'm on double knees in the back, I can't even see over there.
He's a big boy.
These guys are built different.
Mate, it's the Vikings.
I think you're a bit taller than I am, so God forbid I was on my double knees in the back centre. That's a big guy right there.
So yeah, we trained Wednesday. That was really nice. Went out for a nice team dinner. Went to a really nice pizzeria. Some of the lads ordered pizza and had a great time, and some of them didn't and had a terrible time. So that's on them for not ordering pizza in a pizzeria.
But Alex seems to hate the fact that we was in a pizzeria and not like point blank anyway.
Alex was just in a mood that night in general.
I think he got stained in that one time over in where were we? Was it Marseille?
Marseille.
Is that the?
No, that was coffee.
Yeah, he got stained that one time.
No, Alex hated
they forgot coffee's food, and then it came.
They got coffee's food, but Alex had a mare there as well. So ever since then, because he was saying how we shouldn't have gone there, and then things kind of like went a bit that way and the other with the food, and then he started.
My food was great.
I told you guys.
So
now anytime a pizzeria is mentioned, he's extremely anti. But
that pizzeria was excellent. Okay,
I thought it was quite lovely actually.
Yeah, so
and
they had a nice
the size of the pizzas as well was crazy.
I don't know about raw egg on the pizza though. I think that should just be left off the pizza.
That is a thing though. Like there are pizza places
European thing. Like a lot. You know. Do you remember the restaurant we went to in Drew in that town centre? Where it was kind of like the pizza place. You got your poke bowl like the last time we went there.
Yeah.
Remember they put the egg on the pizza there as well.
Yeah.
I think it's something.
Might be a French thing. It's only in France we've got that. No one wants a wet pizza. Who wants a wet pizza?
They put egg on pizza in quite a few places too. It's not just.
I think it's a European thing. I don't think it's just France.
It's weird, man.
I mean, France is a weird place, but
yeah.
also, we were in Portugal, so I don't know how that's come up.
Because we were talking about the pizza in France in Marseille. Keep up, Greeny.
They also had it in Portugal.
I said keep
You
up.
brought it up
Greeny.
because it happened in Portugal, and now you're saying it's a French thing.
No, it's a French thing, man.
It's only a French thing, guys.
Let's move on.
Greeny, did you not know those Portuguese guys, man? They're just French people in
Yeah,
disguise.
those French Portuguese.
The Frenchiguese.
Bless him. Anyway, so yeah, we had pretty chill Thursday. We just trained for an hour against Dynamite. They really pushed our.
It was good to train morning slot there though. Get it out of the way.
Yeah, that was nice.
Have the whole day.
First training session, bish bash bosh, done to the hotel. Like, got to watch a few other teams train. Did our media stuff for the NXL, which I think is pretty good that they actually do that now in Europe as well.
It's good to get locked in and just because we all got signed in and everything and registered as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was just there bright and early, done. Like,
yeah.
That's the end of it.
So that was sorted, and then Friday, first game we had Outrage. How did that go, Spencer? Well, actually, we should save your perspective for the Gladiatori game.
Yeah. My perspective on the whole Friday as a general is just pretty shambolic.
It was just a hate day, wasn't it? It was just change of hate.
It must have been it's got to have been. It's got to have been. There was bad juju, mate. There had to have been.
Yeah,
I switched up the drip, and then all of a sudden I had a stinker, and then I came back Saturday with the old drip, the OG, and then I locked in. So
I think it was TC's motivational quotes actually that helped you on Saturday.
What TC's motivation on Saturday?
TC's in the pitch going, yeah, forget about that shit yesterday.
Yeah, his motivation was reminding me.
Like, I had forgotten about it. But thanks for reminding me that I played terribly yesterday.
What are you trying to say? To up my game in the motivational quarter.
I think if you want to motivate someone, don't bring up the bad past.
Yeah. Do you remember when you played shit yesterday? Don't do that today.
I'll be like, you know what? That's valid. And I'll go out there and just smoke, man. But, everyone's different.
Yeah, maybe we're just a bit more sensitive than you, TC.
What about you, Greeny? When you got shot on the head, like, did you need more motivational speech then? Like, were you all right?
I'll be honest now, I wasn't really thinking very much after that. I was just playing.
You got clocked in the dome, though. No cap.
We'll get to that.
No. Anyway.
So, outrage.
Yeah.
It was a tricky game actually for us. They had Bryce from Tontons, who's he's a really strong player out of France now. Guesting for them, he plays in the States with Tonton FSU. We know he's going to be a really solid gunfighter and be alive, so just kind of keeping eyes on him. But it was a bit more of a back and forth game than I think we bargained for based on previous games against Outrage. So they really showed us that we weren't quite playing to our potential yet. And we needed to step up. So I think that was all in all a tricky game. We got a few penalties, so good to get those out of the way early doors in a tournament rather than later. But ultimately, I think after a pretty tricky game, we started kind of warming up, dialed it in a bit, and we managed to take that one home. I think it was 3-2 in the end.
Yeah. That's what I was just getting up on the phone. And then the scores.
Yeah, close game.
3-2 in the end against Outrage.
And then we immediately moved on to play against my teammate, Gladiatori, who had Grayson playing for them. But they also have they have good players playing for them. They have Pavel, who used to play in the States as well, tallest player in the league by an absolute mile.
Spring bean, mate. That guy can move. A tall, slim guy, he can move.
And Gladiatori had a 13-year-old playing for him.
Yeah, he was decent as well. Yeah, we watched him train on the Thursday. He got like a 4-pack. He just went straight to the Dorito 50, shot 4 people, and it was like, sweet. Pro paintball's easy, I guess.
No, but when you got someone like Slava coaching you religiously, you are going to get.
Yeah. Unfortunately for Gladiatori, they were carrying a lot of injuries. So I know Slav had a tree fall on his leg, so he couldn't play. Yeah. And they had a few others. I can't remember exactly what they were, who they were too, but they were a bit of a lighter roster than usual. But again, we had another close game against them. I think. What was it in the end? 4-2? 4-2, yeah. There was a moment there where we were up to...
No, 3, I think. 3-0?
No, it was 4-2. Because we got the last point.
No, I'm like, we was up 3-0 though.
Yeah, no, it was 3-0. Yeah. And then they put a couple points on us and we had a long point to close, which we got. But my main takeaway from that was that it's now 4-0 against Grayson. So I'm counting that as a personal win. Played him 4 times in the last 3 events. Like,
personal wins are what it's about, mate. We won the game and you also won mentally, so it's okay.
Yeah. You need a little bit of the old, the personal wins as well in there, right? Wins for pride.
No, big up to Grayson and the Aftermath crew. Apart from James Green, like they all supported
James Green.
brand. James Green supported me against all odds.
I supported the against all odds brand. I made a purchase.
My man bought our own merch for retail price.
Sale actually. Bought it myself. Didn't even get a team free.
Nice guy. I take that back. James Green, Grayson Gladstone, Jeremy Doan, and Cody Woodruff.
Aftermath showed out, all rocking the stash. There was quite a lot of them at the event as well, actually. So Jeremy, Cody, Grayson, and Julian all at the event, and Jim McGowan. Spoilers, and James Green. But Grayson was obviously playing for Gladiator. He's played for them last season and this season, so it's cool to see him back and to play against.
For a few more seasons than that, though, right? I feel like I've seen Grayson.
He's been over for a while, but I think last year was his first year with Gladiatori. I think before he was playing with someone else.
He played Gladiatori, I swear, every single time.
I feel like he's been on Gladiatori since day dot, mate.
I don't think
that. Since last year in pro, I'm pretty sure he played on.
No, he played on Verst. Yeah.
Yeah, you might be right actually. No, but they had Robert on first. Oh yeah.
No, they had Grayson for the first 2 events, and then they had Blake for the European Championships.
Yeah, and then that was when Grayson must. Okay.
And then Grayson played for Gladiatori the year after because Verst were no more. But yeah, so we had a good game against Gladiatori. It was tighter than it needed to be, so I think we were still all right. We need to kind of actually lock in a bit. I don't know. How did you guys find the Friday?
I hated it, every bit of it.
Yeah. See,
I got shot on the break a lot. I got a lot of penalties.
I liked Friday. I just feel like, the only thing is that we don't necessarily play well when we play slow. But on Friday we were playing slow. I don't know if it's because we didn't want to get shot, we didn't want to make mistakes or lose to the teams that we should be beating. But we played slow. But personally, I don't mind playing slow. When we're all there talking on the field and we connect, it's satisfying, especially not only on the field, but when you're there watching, it's like, oh shit, everyone knows.
We just hadn't found our pace yet. Because when we trained on the Thursday, when we trained on the Wednesday, we dialed in all of our fast plays and just to make sure our playbook was nice and deep for as and when we needed certain things. So we all got really excited about playing super, super fast. And then on Thursday, we kind of took that into training and got absolutely minced by Dynamite. We were breaking out, shooting 1 or 2 bodies on the break every time, winning the breakouts. And then we just started running and just ran through their zones and just got shot.
I think that's just how this field played, though. It was very out wide, look in. It suited slower teams who were good behind their gun and who could gunfight. Yeah,
no, I think we were playing too fast on that Thursday, and so when it came to Friday, we still hadn't figured out exactly how fast our pace yet, and so I think that caught us out a few times. And then we hadn't quite dialed in our if you're going to play slower, right, you've got to have the comms on lock, and if you haven't practiced that, that's trickier. So I think we're still kind of figuring it out at the event, and those aren't excuses, right? That's just I think what happened, and we needed to be better, and I think we were happy to come away from both those games with a win and go into Saturday with kind of all right, okay, let's keep making progress, basically.
That's kind of what the mentality is that we've been taught, though, right? Is that the only way you're going to win an event is if you're willing to accept that you're not going to do everything right from the start. You have to play your prelims and continue. Each game you have to get better and better and better as the tournament progresses. And if you don't do that, then you're not going to have the tools to win the event because you haven't made the mistakes, you haven't figured out the right responses to things. And I think if anything, it was kind of necessary for us to have those close games because then going into Saturday, they were okay, we're in a good position, but we know we can be better and we know what we need to improve on going into these games. I think I do agree with you I kind of struggled. I think the reason I played pretty awful on Friday was one is a mentality thing. I think I'll be the first to say I was a bit nervous. I'm not played pro in a little while. It's the first event of the year. I always Yeah, I always get a bit nervous in these situations. So I think there was one of it was a bit nerves, but then I'd agree. I think a lot of it was one thing I personally think I stand out for is I have quite an aggressive play style, and finding that tuned back to kind of play a little bit more reserved was something I didn't really kind of get to grips with at first on the Friday, and then had to change around going into Saturday. And so that switch of play style was something that really helped me in being able to kind of slow it down a little bit and go with the rhythm that we were trying to find. So yeah, I think it was quite a fun and a big learning curve Friday. for my
we definitely had to step up. I think across the whole event, each game we had to step up to a bigger challenge, right? Not in terms of the teams that we were playing, but in terms of like looking internally, the things that we were trying to improve on from the last game. And I do think we did that. And I think obviously not well enough because we didn't win the tournament, but I am quite pleased with how like over the course of the tournament, we elevated our game from game to game and we got better. We either didn't start hot enough. And so, then we needed to work on then you can work on smaller and smaller things, right? Because you've already solved a lot of problems, or we didn't improve enough game to game, right? So it's one of those two things that I think we need to work on for the next event. And, let's try and start much hotter because then you can do the second one anyway. So yeah, that was kind of Friday. We had a big old team meeting. We went for dinner at the hotel, nothing fancy. Played a few games of cards, just good team bonding stuff. And then Saturday.
He's a religious liar.
Oh, T? No, T's not a religious liar. He's just a terrible liar.
No. That man would go back to back lies, mate.
Playing a card game called bullshit, where you basically have to cheat. That's the whole point of the card game.
You lie through your teeth, and you just have to get rid of all your cards. Whoever gets rid of them first wins.
It's a good game, but But the best part of that game was when we absolutely ganged up on Mason and Big Ethan. Both of them were going to win, and then what? 6 of us all coordinated together to make sure both of them lost.
Well, I think Mason won though somehow.
The Spencer won.
Oh, did you win? Oh, fair.
Yeah.
I won a couple games.
Yeah, he didn't even win on a lie. If
I remember rightly, I didn't win on a lie.
You're an idiot. Why did you do that? And I was like, he wasn't lying. And then Carver looked at your cards, and then you weren't lying, which was good for me because otherwise I would have been a big idiot.
So Saturday's games, we had coming at you, and we had
fresh team coming into the pro division, but
game was
some familiar faces all round, I think. So they had a few of the old.
Thomas Taylor, they've got Hosky, they've got
Mark
Johnson.
And then they had 2 of the old guards.
Coached by Todd Adamson.
Yeah.
And they had a few of the other German guys, I believe.
Yeah,
still
some of the old school coming at you, lads. So that was actually quite a tough game, to be honest.
Actually.
It was quite back and forth. We did a really good job of not letting them get wide on the break snake side. I think that was kind of our main goal with them having Hosky going that way. And Thomas had started to tend that way halfway through their gladiatory match, which was the match just prior to that. And so we did a really good job of trapping them short. And I think, and then trying to go down the Doritos. And they were a good team, right? They were pretty solid. I think they were just on the bubble of going through, so it wasn't a surprise. It was a close game, and then we ended up in overtime, which I don't really remember what happened in overtime. I know I got shot early though, and then someone else clutched up.
What happened in overtime?
I locked in. No cap.
Oh, that was the gingers look after each other on the field. You forgot about that shit Friday, right?
That's what I'm saying, mate. You just say sometimes you got to lock in.
Good thing T told you to do that. Otherwise you never would have thought to do it.
No, it wasn't me. It was always all Spen, right? He knew what he had to do.
Your account of the events.
My account of the events was I get told to go out to the small cowbell on the Dorito side on the break, and I do so.
King of the Oakland, yeah.
King of the Oakland, mate. King of the Oakland. And as I do so, we get a kill on the snake side quite quickly, but then we also lose someone on the snake side quite quickly, equally as fast. So we're looking at a 4-on-4. And then not too long after, I'm on a bit of an island that side. I'm trying to figure out, I'm like, right, okay, I need to make something happen here. It's 44. Like, I know I'm in the cowbell and I can see the snake side, and because we already got the kill that side, I'm trying to just lock in and make sure no one like on their side fills out.
Yeah, really strong.
And then I see the move up to the big 50 brick on the bag side, so I say, I'm sending it, mate. I'm going for it. So I get up there. As I do so, Hossie fills into the snake, and I have Aiden behind me, right, and he's telling me the whole time, hey. They're in America, which is like the bag one, obviously on the bag side. And so I'm kind of teetering between both sides. And like he's telling me that the America's going to go, so I'm kind of watching over this side to make sure he doesn't make the next bump into the next bag. Kind of worried about the snake. So I'm watching the bag side, and I come look over the snake side, and I just see a little hosky head. So I threw some balls over there, managed to clip it out, and I was like, yo. I was like, that was a little shot. Kills the shot Hosky, that's him gone. I come back to the bags, and just by amazing, like it was literally like the reverse of COD timing, right? And just so as I come back to the bags, I lock in, and all of a sudden I just see my man try and dive into the following bag. I was like,
you just know that my man was looking at the thing for about 10 minutes. As soon as he looks away, Spence comes round and shoots him.
So I locked in, shot him. So at this point, so we were in a 3-on-4, which I was unaware of, and then obviously I get Hosky, and then I get the bag player. So now I've completely turned the game around. It's now a 3-on-2, and I'm getting all the information right. The boys are telling me, hey, it's Utah and it's back right. So the Utah is the can on the bag side of the field.
Just giving away all of our calls for free.
These people know these calls these days, mate. Like, hey, there are plenty of people that copy our calls.
Guessing
I go walking down the netting at NXL, and I'm hearing Dragon. I'm hearing all of our calls, mate. So someone's already been giving out the source for free.
They don't know how we're using
them. But yeah, so we get those 2 kills. We're locked in, and I'm like, okay, now we're at 32. I know exactly where these last 2 bodies are. I kind of go fishing a little bit, right? I come on the inside of the brick, and I look towards the back right. And as I'm looking there, I'm like, I'm edging, and I just see my man. Just see my man. He's just chilling out there, knees all open. I was like, dusted. Put a little stream on him, shot him on his knee, and I thought, yeah, I'm about to go ruin the Utah's life, mate. So I'm like, I blind myself out. I start going straight towards the Utah. I get licked up. I'm like, yo. So I turn around to my own team thinking, what the hell? One of my own team shot me. Turns out, no, they didn't. The guy in the corner, he shot me. So then he gets a penalty for playing on and trying to conceal a hit. So that in turn eliminates the Utah as well. I won't tell the listeners and the viewers what happened following that. If you were there, you kind of know.
Choice words in the pits.
Fucking leprechaun.
I quite upset some people on their team.
It was a back and forth match. Both teams needed that game to go through to Sunday, and it was overtime. It was a back and forth overtime point as well, right? Because like you said, we both shot a body off the break. So we shot the first body, then they shot 2 of us, and then you shot 2 of them. It's just like it was just an intense moment, and then there's always some talking in those moments, right? And our team likes to talk, and in generalization, the American players we played against also like to talk. So there was a bit of talking. And the pits in Portugal are literally right next to each other, so you can just shout, like you can talk to each other from one pit to the other. They're literally like 3 meters away from each other, and they do their best to separate out teams, but you are 3 meters away from each other. There's just a bit of choice words. I mean, we need to tone it down. They need to tone it down. All of that kind of stuff.
We didn't start it.
Hey,
it doesn't really matter, you know.
It doesn't matter. We spoke
It's all
afterwards.
part of competing
Like,
at the end of the day.
afterwards, we spoke. Like everything was all squashed
Everyone
out.
shook hands.
Yeah,
it was all
all fine
That's the
afterwards.
thing about paintball is like it gets heated in the moment, but it's never like taken outside of the net. Like you go afterwards after.
I mean, that was in the pits.
Yeah, I mean, like afterwards, there was no animosity towards anyone. It was just
no. Yeah, in the Portugal field has that big staging area which overlooks the pro field, and everyone's watching games, and you know, hands were shaken and respect was given. It was all kind of good. But
So we spoke after the handshake and stuff, and I was like, because
yeah.
I was adamant that it was one of our guys that shot me when I was on my way to get him. So I spoke to him after, and I was like, "Did you shoot me?" And he was like, "Oh, absolutely." He's like, "You shot me on the knee. You shot me on the knee. I tucked in. I tried hiding it. I saw you come in. I shot you." I was like, "Oh." Like it all became apparent, but no.
I didn't actually know that. I didn't know that's how that ended. I thought the Utah just like rapped on you and just quickly like.
No, that's what I mean, because I blinded him out. I was like, this is my moment. I was like, I've already had a blind of a point, but I'm about to drop the hammer and lock it in, like secure this. It's like this is my point. And then that transpired, and I was like, oh. But no, it was a good game. It was a good way to lock in. It was a good turn of events for my Friday. It kind of gave me a bit of optimism.
Yeah, everyone has to step up at the right moments. You know, that's kind of.
Well, that's one of Marcelo's another points, right?
Yeah,
he said individuals won't win a tournament. It's essentially everyone needs to have their own moments throughout the course of it, and everyone had their moments. Just unfortunately come out on top.
So that put us at 3-0. So we knew we were through to Sunday, but we knew our margin was pretty tight, right? So, you know, I think at that point we were a +4. So like,
right.
That's not the best margin to go through with. So we knew we had to go and get the next game, which was Joy. We've had a few games against Joy over the years. They're always absolute battles. So it was good. It was a good game to play, I think, ahead of Sunday, and a good test for the team. Unfortunately, we weren't able to win it. I think we needed to play more as a team and control certain parts of the field that we didn't really control. Like Harrison on the Dorito side was doing a really good job of being annoying and being a bit of a pest. And we just weren't disciplined enough on like being aware of that or controlling it, right? Like, so that game ended in overtime as well, didn't it? Or was that a little bit?
No, we lost, I think, 5-3 or 4-2.
Yeah, okay. So it was still quite a close game, but we ended up dropping a game to Joy, which put us through to Sunday at 3-1 with a low point spread. So we had to go into the wildcard game against Allah, which was actually
going 3-1 and playing wildcards is
yeah. It comes down to margin, doesn't it? At that point,
yeah.
But yeah, there were some teams that went through at 2-2 though, so it's kind of I guess we played those teams, right? Yeah. They're like, okay, I guess that's how that works. Yeah, so we ended up playing Allah, who were being coached by Greeny, and they had Nino's playing for them. So, and actually, it was a rematch of our Portugal wildcard game from the year before, where
literally did the same game.
Yeah, we played Allah in the wildcard game. So they
last year we played Allah, let's say, in the wildcard again.
Yeah. So they definitely wanted it, and they were a bit more stacked up than they were the year before, and that was a pretty tight game. We ended up going. Did we go down 2-0 at the start?
Yeah.
We went down.
Yeah, we went down 2-0.
And we scored 4 points in a row.
Then we scored about 4 or 5 on the trot. Yeah. But they were good. Like they were running everywhere. We'd done a really good job of shooting people on the break up to that point in the tournament. And I don't think it would be an underestimation to say that we were the best break shooting team at the event, you know, going into Sunday. And they just ran through everything, which made things a bit trickier.
It was just a crucial part of the layout. Like you had to shoot well on the break to set yourself up to win the point. Like if it's a stalemate 5-on-5, it's just going to be a slow point. You get them kills, you know, you can take advantage of it.
That's exactly right. So yeah, we ended up taking that game. It was a good. Personally, I like playing in the. I don't like playing on Sunday a team that's already warmed up. So I almost like playing the wildcard game because you go into that quarterfinal warm. You've got another, game of lessons under your belt. I don't think any of us were particularly gassed or tired at that point. So I personally like playing those games. I don't like being the team that goes through as like a top 2 seed and then you have to go play a team that's warmed up. And you're like, oh dear, this is their shot's already dialed, basically. So I was feeling pretty happy about that situation, going in and playing Joy again. We played Joy so much. Joy and Gladiatori, we played them pretty much every tournament.
Yeah, Joy and Gladiatori seems to be like it's one of the only teams we ever play.
Yeah.
We only play half of the NXL Europe League every year, just recycled.
Yeah. But so yeah, we played them again, and this game was much tighter than the previous game. Even though the scoreline was kind of similarly back and forth, the points were just much, much tighter. So I think
we did a lot better job of trying to isolate Harrison, right?
Yeah, we had a massive meeting on on Saturday evening, right? Because we knew we were playing into Joy, so we planned for both the Joy game and the Ala game, so that we were like prepared. And we had a few. I don't think we really changed our play at all. I think it was just, being more coordinated as a team, being more aware of that spot on the field, just going, look, we know the players that want to get there. Not just Harrison, right? Because when Chris wanted to do it, Chris was doing it. The players at the tournament, when you wanted to get to that 350, it was really hard to stop players getting there, right? So we just had to be more aware of that in general, but especially going into that game against Joy. And I think we did a really good job of that. So we opened up first point. TC, Harrison got to the 50. We spied him. TC ran him down, came through the middle. I don't think Harrison really did anything in that game, so it was much more even, and then it became a bit more of a chess match.
But that's the thing about that spot is you could do everything if no one knew you was there, but once you're there, you couldn't do anything.
Exactly. So we just played like he was there the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just play around it. Yeah, it's just a very back and forth game, right? I think we went down 2, and then we were up 1, and then we,
It's extremely back and forth.
The
games with Joy are always a bit of a battle. Like I quite enjoy playing them actually.
There's either a massive comeback from either team, or it is just a 1-point game the whole game. Lots of lead changes, all sorts.
There's some
mentally
they are some of my favorite games to play because they are. Don't get me wrong. I think we've lost to Joy every time. I'll be honest.
We've never.
We haven't beat them in a while.
But they are, although we lose, they are probably without a doubt some of my favorite games to play because, you have to play for it.
They're disciplined paintballers. They're fucking good snapshooters. Scandinavia, I've heard that only 6 months of the year you can practice because of how cold it is outside.
Yeah, they do a lot of
them man are just inside, just re-balling it up.
Yeah. That's what Mason
does
head,
right? Yeah, that's what Mason does in the kitchen, mate.
He'll be here soon. I guarantee as soon as he walks in, he'll be on the drills, mate. The break shooting, then the snapping. No, he hasn't got his gun actually, so you can't do it.
Yeah, I'm sure there's one line around the that house.
He'll find a way.
But yeah, so the Joy game was an absolute battle. Ended up going to overtime. The overtime point was a bit of a heartbreaker for us, really. I think
close.
We shot Samuelson on the break, who'd been sitting in the kind of dead zone on the snake side, which was the best place to go if you wanted to shoot that cross lane. So we keyed up on that, which is huge for overtime. So Fabian was isolated in the snake. Me and Fabian traded out. We were in a 4-on-3. They were trapped back centers widest on the snake side, and then we just didn't close well enough. There's really nothing. It's not taking anything away from Joy. They played really well to win that situation, but we kind of. It's on us, right? It was a 43. It's a 43. We were in the Snake 50. We were in the Doritos, and we let them fill out. And we get clipped out the Snake 50, and then 33, and now we're not wide, and it's it was completely on us, I think. And personally, I think we spoke about this a lot as a team after the tournament, right? Like that's a horrible way to lose, but it's also a great way to lose going into the next tournament, knowing that it is a mistake you made, because then you can fix that. It kind of sucks when you lose in a tournament and you come off the field and you go, I don't know what we could have done better. Like we did everything right. Like, so personally, I'm pleased that it's fixable problems. Like it sucks in the moment and we need to be better. But at least we know what to fix. Like, that's a really good starting point going into the next one. Well, that was the end of our tournament.
Yeah, I'm buzzing. I'm buzzing for the next one, really.
Mm.
It's a gutting way to lose. It's a gutting way to obviously ending on such a high last year with a second place. Well, we had a third and a second last year, so it's a little bit of a gutting way to.
This is how we ended Portugal last year, though. Bounced out in the quarters. We got mercy in the quarters in Portugal last time.
Yeah, they had a slightly better seeding though, right? Last year, I think we came seventh.
No, we played the wild card game as well.
No, I mean, overall coming out of it, I think we came seventh-ish. Seventh, sixth.
I think it might be
eighth.
I don't know if we did.
All I know is we lost in the quarters in the first.
Like last year, we came out.
I know Firma. I think Firma seventh, and then one above us.
Oh no, we came eighth. Yeah, this year we came eighth. But what I'm saying,
last year we came out.
We came seventh, right?
Yeah. It doesn't really matter though. Like we're still
not in an awful situation compared to last year. We just lock in, we win the next two events, and it's GG. So
exactly, got to keep it interesting, for the fans. But the rest of the event was quite interesting as well. So, like,
just want to quickly brief. I'm going to interrupt you, but just because you just brought them up, I do want to shout out Firm actually.
That's where I was going.
Those guys played lights out. Obviously, they had the pickup of Hugo. They managed to get like Sam Collins and both the McShane brothers out.
Yeah,
and yeah, those guys played lights out, man.
They the most important guy as well.
Big was
one-on-one champion still.
One-on-one champion, mate. So obviously those guys, they had Scalp in their prelim bracket. Came out on top. They had an overtime point that the overtime went to one-on-ones. That one-on-one, they sent was out against Arturo.
The context for those of you that don't know is when the Millennium used to do the one-on-one tournament, and so anyone could enter, and you could play. If you were Div 5, you could end up playing against Ollie Lang, right? Literally anyone could enter. And Warren won a couple of those, and he's playing professional player. He won or come second, but he
won. He won the one-on-one.
Yeah. So he's a very good one-on-one player, clearly, because he's done it consistently. It wasn't just like one lucky event; he did it a couple of times. So yeah, they send out old reliable. Jersey's clean. He's been chilling in the pits for the whole time,
Because he was injured for a bit. I saw him.
Might have been his first point played of the year. No, it was. No. Goes out with full confidence against Arturo.
No, he's the man, mate. He came off, and literally everyone in that Mega Campo place was like gas for was. Not only because they beat Scalp, but also because he beat Arturo as well. Like, that's obviously an achievement. When the best
player in the game last year, did they? So one of the first team to beat them in the year.
I'm surprised if they send over Malloy.
I don't think Malloy can.
I don't think they can send Malloy for the
UK, right?
Yeah. But we'll find out in a few events, won't we? We're gonna have to play Scalp at some point this year. So yeah, I guess we'll find out when that happens. But, yeah, Firm not only beat them in the prelims, beat them twice. They beat them on Sunday as well.
They beat them in the wild card as well.
Yeah. That was so slightly different showing from Scalp this year.
Oh wait, no, sorry.
The one-on-one was on Saturday.
The one-on-one was on the Friday. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Friday. Yeah. So did any of the other teams stand out to you guys though? Like looking around.
Who else stood out to me?
LTF surprised me.
LTF surprised me.
LTF and Rangers. Pardon?
I was gonna say, I think the question mark with LTF was, were they going to be like a coordinated team or not? And I think they definitely answered that question. Yeah, they were. They made Sunday. Did they make the semis
really well? I think they did. I think they did make semis. Yeah.
Yeah.
They Rangers in the quarters.
Yeah. So they're better than us.
You had Fabrice playing for LTF, and you had Axel playing for Rangers. So that was a good little face-off, actually.
Yeah, and all of the like legit Tauntauns are in the LTF pits. None of them were back in Axel. Just like kind of funny. I'm sure it's not like that, right? Because it's LTF is Le Tauntaun Flingers, which is their like original name. So I'm sure it's not like Screw Axel, but it was just kind of funny to me that not one of them were there. Like, come on, I'm the back, my boy. So that was funny. But yeah, Ranger played well. I thought they did good. Yeah, Dynamite obviously did really well. Their first ever finals. Yeah,
They were sick.
Yeah, we love Dynamite. They're one of our like, you know.
Yeah, they're the same age as like the young lot on our team. When we was playing under 19s, GB, me, Spence, Alex, Mason, Ethan Ward, they were the under 19s as well. So like
Greeny. Greeny was an under 19 when I was an under 19. Big up.
Greeny wasn't an under 19 with the with like the
my last under 19 year was Spencer's first under 19 year. And I remember we were in the finals and it was me, you, and Amy over on the Snake side, you know. And you got the start, and I remember you got into the Snake 50, and like for some reason I was playing the 2.
Big mistake.
Anyway, Spencer's there in the Snake 50 in like a cake, and he's like, Greeny, there's someone in the Dorito corner, and it was like a giant bloody Dorito, like massive thing. Like you don't want to like the guy's. He obviously doesn't have an angle on the guy, and Spencer's there at like 13, just getting gunfighting like crazy. I'm like, Spencer, calm down. It's just like gonna get gogged in a second.
I'm locked in, mate. I slammed them that point, mate. I'll tell you, I remember watching that live stream back like over and over, mate. I was locked in,
and then we lost it.
Blind over a point and just slammed a bunch of French kids. I was gassed.
I'm fuming. I didn't play with the under 19s, and he came like third.
Yeah,
I won the year after. I came second, then I came first. Because I won
that
with
was the year we got the whole squad together. I mean, I was out, but at that point you got Luke in, like
Luke, had Al, Mason.
Oh my god,
I was
exactly the whole squad team.
Right, is that how you're moving?
I wasn't there either.
That was the year because that was the year I was on Retribution or Nexus, aka Retribution, whatever that was, and then the year after, I came over to you guys.
Yeah,
that was the start.
Yeah, but that was fun though. I missed playing in the under 19s. I remember not the year that you guys won it, the year after I bounced out. You guys had you had Luke and Mason playing these 2 insert spots that you could run and gun out to, and if you were a good runner and gunner, you could have incredible break shots on the break, and you just shot cross, kind of like this field actually that we just played. And I remember playing against Germany, who were pretty solid, but they just weren't prepared. And I remember Luke and Mason running and gunning out to these spots. At one point, they got 4 kills on the break, and it was just
that was Alex and Dan Hughes.
Was it?
They shot because this was the big W, and they both shot. They were shooting
through the windows,
lanes through the big W.
I could have sworn it was Luke and Mason at one point as well. No, they've definitely done that together, Luke and Mason.
Well, I think that's fair, but the biggest standout for me was it was Al and Dan Hughes because it was that year that we won it.
That does ring a bell. I remember Dan Hughes then ran through the middle and absolutely crucified this poor like 16-year-old kid in the back center. Dan's mean. If you let Dan be mean, he's a punisher, you know.
That's like that.
I miss playing with Luke, man. That was always the best thing when you're in the Snake and you just hear, "Hey Spence, I got you," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm locked in, mate."
Yeah, I'm never gonna die. That was back when they actually did like snakes to win a line, so the back guy could actually protect you. Luke was the man. Good. Yeah. Now Mason plays behind us.
The most solid 2 guy ever.
No, he's making a comeback, Luke said. He was at site the other weekend.
He said he might train a bit this year if he gets some kit for him.
Yeah, I don't think he's far off a comeback.
He needs a gun.
Yeah, exactly.
Catch Luke Medley back on the field.
So that was kind of Portugal. That was a much longer wrap up of Portugal than I expected. Hopefully, people found it interesting.
Might have waffled a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I think the only other
first-person perspective from a point. Like
I think the only other news from Portugal was obviously we had the AAO drop while we were out there.
Big up.
So as T mentioned, yeah, he's showing off his t-shirt. He's been showing off his hat all podcast. Catch on the YouTube. I think that went really well, actually. We had, quite a few deliveries to do at site. That was fun. We've been hooked up with a couple extra bits and pieces. The TC's showing off some of the merch now. So we managed to, some of the fans started rocking some of the hats in the stands. That was quite cool to see when you're out there playing. You see just like little AAO hats bobbing around. So yeah, that went really well. And then T, I think we got a drop coming up soon in the next sort of 6 weeks or so, don't we?
We got jerseys, we got t-shirts, we got hoodies, joggers, shorts, mate. Don't worry.
Hats.
Don't worry.
Sorry.
Locked in.
Yeah, locked in for this one. So
yeah,
the plan is to kind of do them like every 6 to 8 weeks. So it's kind of like in between events, but still like relevant for the event. So people can still put hands on it at events. But no, we're starting small. We just want to, just try and get as much media coverage as coverage out there as we can right now.
Yeah, I think the big standout for me though was the quality of the stuff. Like, I mean, I'm wearing my AAO joggers right now. I'm wearing them pretty much since I came back from Portugal. They're so comfortable. Honestly, I've never had joggers this comfortable. I've been looking for joggers this comfortable for ages.
Look no more.
The only ones I've been able to find.
You bought some Adidas ones that shrunk in the wash. So.
Oh my god, yeah. I put them on a 30 wash as well, and they shrunk. But this isn't even me trying to sell. I just like genuinely, I'm gonna wear these for a long time. They're sick. I'm probably gonna buy another set in the next drop. Just collect them all like Pokemon cards. Yeah, but we also got lots of good feedback from everyone, so we're taking that on board. Things about more colors, more sizes, having kind of like a staples collection that we do in every drop, and then like unique pieces. So T's working hard at it, but I think what I'm really pleased about is that it was actually the stuff's quite good in the end. We didn't drop the ball on quality.
Yeah, we was quite worried that we didn't like necessarily release it how we intended to, but I mean, like we've got to learn somewhere at some point. Like we want your feedback. Like if you think that we did a shit job of it, just say, look, I don't like this, and then we can do something to try and fix it. Like
yeah. It was a good soft launch. We had to do one, and we did.
Yeah. We got jerseys. The jerseys are gonna cook, me.
Jerseys are cooking.
You might like your cartoon pieces. You like your anime pieces.
TC's on it. TC's cooking me up.
Spoilers. I will show you a jersey. I haven't got the sample yet, so
haven't got the samples yet.
Tune in next week.
Next week. Yeah. Well, we've got a whole timetable sorted out now. Me and T sat down yesterday, made a timeline.
I'm not against the timetable. I'm locked in for the timetable.
But you know how it works. I have no creative input, but I'm heavily involved in all things that require a spreadsheet.
So you just like spreading me.
Greeny XL.
Greeny X.
Greeny Excel.
I don't mind Excel spreadsheets. Just once they're all laid out.
I'm not a spreadsheet.
Yeah, we made you a few templates to fill out, TC.
I'm not a spreadsheet man. I'm giving some information and I'll rock up.
Yeah. So you're a notes app kind of guy.
Yeah. Hey, my notes app's locked in, mate. I love a note.
You like doctoring evidence as well, don't you, Stan? You like that as well.
I don't doctor any evidence. Listen, if you've done something and I managed to jot it down and have the evidence to hold against you, then
I'm innocent.
TC, word on the street is you're not innocent, and that evidence.
Yeah, it's not word on the street, mate. It's the evidence. The evidence says
that van at fucking Drew NXL says otherwise. If I go there again this year, that thing is still on the side of that van.
That's the one that said I had a job.
Imagine it's there. Like, even if it's not there, it's going back there.
Guys are making tally charts on the side of a paint truck, to answer if I'm gay or not.
Wow, you just get a bit far there, mate.
Well, that's just
yeah.
That's what did the advice? Yeah, but just out of curiosity, what did the tallies say? What were they voting for?
It doesn't matter because it was bullshit fucking activation. Next year, it's going to be on the side of the back. Is James Green the worst player on Aftermath? Yes. No.
That's crazy. There's going to be so many votes for no.
Yeah. It depends what happens if we pick you up or not, TC.
I don't want to play.
I will. If he won't, I will.
Yeah.
I ain't going nowhere till we win, bro.
Mate, didn't you play for a different team at Cup?
Oh, what's Notorious?
Oh,
that was
yeah. And then you're
Side
throwing
quest.
shade on me, big man. You
Yeah, but that was a
started
side
it.
quest.
To be fair, you were the first. You made the first
Started
move,
it.
T.
You
I'm
started it.
just trying
I'm
to get
literally a
on
follower.
completion. Greeny, you have snaked the boys out and you've gone to play there a full season. It's outrageous. Oh, don't worry, guys. Yeah, I'm locked in for this year. All of a sudden, Major League
Have
Paintball.
I missed the training?
Green for Aftermath. Yes, sound.
Have
Greeny's
I
been
missed
locked
an
in
event?
though. Greeny's got a full plate and he's doing it all. So fair play to Greeny.
Yeah, I'm locked in.
If you can wear your jersey right for the next event,
Do you know what? On
just make
purpose,
sure you just pull that.
on purpose, just for you, TC. I'm gonna wear it wrong.
Wear it back to front.
Yeah. Just for you,
That's your
TC.
problem.
I'm gonna go up and
Greeny
do
on the
the interview
front.
afterwards, and I'm gonna be like,
Greeny's
is
out there
TC.
single-handedly ruining the Aftermath brand image, mate.
Yeah, exactly. I've got to keep the Lucky 15 stuff up, you know.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'll hook you up with a little AAO beanie to wear there, though. Do you want it green?
Yeah. I mean, that sounds good.
Say no more.
Yeah. Whatever. I need a hat like this. This is what I want. I need a hat like this with just the AAO cube somewhere.
Say no more.
Yeah. Say no. He's cooking. See, feedback is received. Sweet. That feels like a good place to drop off.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
Yeah. All right. So we'll probably be back in a
much.
couple of weeks, maybe after AC.
When is
see how it
AC?
goes. Huh?
When is AC? Next week?
No, it's in 2 weeks. Layout drops on Wednesday, and then training event. So we'll just see what the team. I personally won't be able to do one while I'm away, so we'll just see whatever everyone wants to do.
We can figure out. We can maybe drop it when you get back.
Yeah,
then
we can both.
Your feedback and a certain someone else who's going with you can jump on too.
Jim McGowan. Jim McGowan.
I mean, we could use the Discord. If people want questions they want to ask, for the next episode.
Yeah, we should do a little Q&A.
A little Q&A in the Discord.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad that you just brought this up.
Discord.
No, yes, join the Discord, but give me a fun fact.
Oh, okay. I wondered if you were gonna remember.
Yeah, I'm glad I remembered now.
Fun fact.
They're never fun with Greeny.
No, they are fun. They are fun.
Okay. Did you not miss the one last time where we got Mason thinking too much?
Mason just locked
in.
Mason,
mate. Some stuff is going
Did you know that turtles can breathe out their buttholes?
I did know that.
No, I didn't.
You didn't. It's okay. You did know that. Let me see if I can find what you think.
How can they breathe?
They breathe in through their nose, and then they they come up, and they breathe in, and then as they turn around to dive again, they exhale through their butthole.
No, you can't be doing that.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, you could definitely fact check me because this.
No, I was gonna say if this. I've been told that, so it may look, if this is false, it looks like I've just jumped.
All we're doing here is fun facts.
Yes.
Yes. Also, why is that in your Google history? See,
I just searched it.
It's a bit sus.
It's called slower cool respiration.
What's another fun fact I can give you? I don't really know.
Fun fact.
You got to start prepping these.
What type of? Well, I was playing Trivial Pursuit with the family yesterday, so I'm just thinking about
playing Trivial Pursuit with the family.
I was actually playing Trivial Pursuit with my
family. That's a long night activity. What type of terrain covers 20% of the Earth's land mass?
This is that Minecraft knowledge coming in.
What type of terrain covers 20% of land mass? Desert.
Ding ding ding, Spencer. Big brain over there.
I'm that guy.
Mate, you can come play with us for Trivial Pursuit anytime.
Hey, I'm Ginger. I'm basically part of the family anyway. Inheritance.
Yeah. No.
You got one more of your
one more. I feel like this is just a quiz for Spencer now.
Yeah, this has become a quiz now. I know these things.
I just hear in the background. Yeah,
well, T, you're good at spelling. Like, we're going to enter you into a spelling bee. That's going to be good content.
Oh my god, we should video that. We should actually enroll you in like a community spelling bee and make a video about it.
Yeah, no. That's how. When's your birthday?
To a spelling bee and just record
it. We'll make it like a kids one too. It'll be like a primary school spelling bee.
He could win. He could win the spelling bee. All right, final one for you, Spencer. If you go 3 for 3, you get.
Why is this quizzes? Why ask for fun facts and now you're just
Yeah,
quizzing
fun
me?
fact.
Well, I'm trying to think of another good fun fact. Thing is, I feel like I've told you this fun fact already, but it is my favorite fun fact. It's that the reason American football is called football is because the ball used to be a foot long. So that used to be the spec of how you'd make an American football. You'd make it a foot long. And so that's why it was then called football. So it's got nothing to do with kicking. And when
Fun
we all,
fact. See, now I'm locked in. I didn't know that.
yeah. I feel like I've definitely told you that one before, I spent.
No, I don't remember. I don't remember knowing that. That knowledge isn't in my brain. So if you have told me, I'm probably away with the fairies.
I'm ending this call, yeah, and I'm getting up and I'm never thinking about it again.
That's because you don't think, T.
You're a naysayer, mate. I'm here for the fun facts. So
Yeah.
that's locked in. I may never tell anyone that fun fact ever, but
we can do spelling with TC. Spell plethora, mate.
Plethora.
I wouldn't even know. Wouldn't even know.
No, he is correct.
All right, cool. Let's leave it there.
It's been a pleasure.
We'll
Hopefully
see you
people
all
can.
in a few weeks then. Thanks
Yeah,
for
hope you
listening.
don't mind too much waffling. We definitely went on some tangents, but I feel like that's what makes this podcast our podcast. So
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure, guys. Thank you for listening, and speak to you in the next one.
Bye.
Safe.